Ever wake up and just feel like, I just can't get my creative flow today? Well, if you're creative and if you tend to do a lot of creative work, you might be having something called a creative block. But no worries, today in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I've learned from my friend, Seth Godin, about creative block and how to get out of that creative rut. So stick around and let's get right into it. Hey, my name is Chadvi and I'm a copywriter and content strategist here on YouTube making videos about marketing and selling your online services. So if you're a copywriter, digital marketer, or an online entrepreneur, you're gonna wanna like and subscribe to this channel. So let's dive right into it. Today we're going to talk about creative block. And is creative block even a thing? So a few months ago, I pre-ordered Seth Godin's book, The Practice. And I was mind blown by it. Not because it said anything that I didn't know, but because it just said something that we all kind of know deep down, but we just keep making up all these excuses for ourselves. The essence of the book is how to get unstuck as a creative and how the practice is really going to help you to do that. While most self-help books about creativity are going to give you some goal settings, some tools and apps that you can use to stay creative, some habits that you need to have to be creative, Seth Godin, he kind of approaches this thing differently. So let's get into the 5 key points that grabbed my attention and is probably going to help you get unstuck in your creativity. Number 1, flow is a symptom of the work we're doing, not the cause of it. In the very first part of the book, Seth Godin makes us realize that there's no such thing as a muse. When you have a muse, you're basically removing responsibility and credit from your own self and you're putting it on something external. You're basically saying the day that you don't want to do something creative, well, it's not really your fault. It's because the muse is not around. On the flip side, you're decreasing your self-worth when you actually do amazing creative work. Oh, no, it wasn't me. It's my muse. That's how I ended up coming up with this amazing idea. When you remove responsibility from yourself and have something like a muse, you're basically giving yourself permission to take a day off, to not do the work you were meant to be doing, to not take things as seriously as you should be. So instead of looking for a muse, you have to take responsibility for all your creative work. The day you're not doing it, well, that's on you. Number 2. Practice is the most important reason creatives get more creative and better at what they do, not having super talent or well-kept secrets. Seth Godin tells us that there's no such thing as creative block, especially there's no such thing as writer's block. Instead, what there is fear. Fear of creating something that's not the best that you could have created. Fear that you're going to let someone down. Fear that maybe your previous work was so amazing and you don't really feel like you can do better than that. Instead, Seth Godin believes that it's when you're actually practicing your creative work every single day that you're gonna end up creating your best work. You're just putting all the chance and all the luck on your side. So the next time you feel like abandoning a project because it's starting to make you feel uncomfortable or you're starting to have that imposter syndrome sink in, just tell yourself, keep pushing forward, keep practicing your craft. That's the only way to get better. Here's an interesting fact. In a Nike commercial, Michael Jordan said that he missed over 9,000 shots, 26 of them being game-winning shots. I failed over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. Surprising? Number 3, trust the process. The thing is, when we do creative work is that we really want to create something amazing. We want to create something that's mind-blowing, that's never been done before. That's what the word creative means, right? We want to create amazing designs. We want to create copy that's never been written before. We want to write a book that's just going to become the next big thing. What happens when we do that is we're actually working with a lot of fear and tension and anxiety. So if we're so focused on the end goal, many of us don't even try or don't even start doing it because we're so scared of creating something that we're not actually going to be proud of. Remember when you were a kid and you were given a piece of white paper and some colored pens and you just draw anything you wanted that day? You just write any story you wanted that day because you just weren't attached to the result. You just let yourself go and you were just enjoying the process. You had zero expectations of how good or how bad the story or this picture was going to be. You just had a lot of fun. But as adults, we kind of lose that innocence and we start attaching everything to our status, to our ego, and we start to think that, oh, whatever it is that I'm going to create is going to be part of me, is something that I'm going to have to carry for the rest of my life. But that's just not true. It's not true, and you know it. Think about it. Think back to the times that you've done things where you failed, and then you've just done them the second time or the third time, and it worked out for you. Are people still talking about it? Are you even still thinking about it? If anything, you just think it's amazing that you've managed to do something and you've managed to learn something. So grab your pen, your keyboard, or any tool you need and get to work. Start enjoying the process. Creativity is just about enjoying that process of creation. Let those ideas flow. Just have fun with it. Allow yourself to write something a bit crappy. Allow yourself to draw some designs that are really not going to do you any good. Allow yourself to fail miserably. Get all of those anxieties and all of those crappy ideas and all of that bad work out of the way. It's only when you clear your system and purge yourself of all of that you're going to start to get in the flow of your creativity and you're going to start to create something amazing. As Seth Godin says, trust the practice, enjoy the process, the goal will take care of itself. Number 4, you will survive your below average creative work. Yep, I've said it before and I'm saying it again. You will survive. Nothing's going to happen to you. What? A couple of rejections? A couple of eyebrows being raised? A couple of judgments here and there? A couple of no's from a few clients? What's the big deal? You are going to survive this. And most importantly, these are going to be amazing life lessons that's going to help you do better in future. Don't you want to grow and evolve and get better at your craft? This is the only way to do it. And you know this. A lifetime of brainwashing has taught us that work is about measurable results, that failure is fatal, and that we should be sure that the recipe is proven before we begin. But that's just not the case. We see it everywhere. We see it with all these big companies that we love. We see it with all these people that we aspire to be. You've seen it. The way they started, the mistakes that they've made, the crappy videos that they've created, the services that weren't really formulated properly, the designs that were, God, so awful. You've seen it. And they just got better and better and better and more amazing and more amazing and more amazing. And you know what? They are true inspirations for us. And we love it. We love listening to their journey. We love relating to where they begin. Because the truth is, could you relate to someone who is just perfect at their craft? How would you? You know that's just not possible. You know you don't expect it from them. So why do you expect it from you? If you still need some reassurance, use a website called Wayback and type in your favorite business or your favorite person on the internet and go way back and look at what their website looked like before. Look at what their videos looked like before and then decide, were they what you thought they were? Were they as perfect as you thought they were? Probably not. As a YouTuber, one of the first things I did to help me get out of this imposter syndrome and to really help me feel motivated to start doing YouTube was to go on YouTube channels of these YouTubers that I adored and that I would watch every single day, and just click on Alder's video and just look at the mess that it was back then, and then I just feel like, hey, I can do this. So, can you? And number 5, remind yourself who you are doing the work for. Okay, so this one sounds less glamorous, and this one is a little bit of a slap in the face. But at the end of the day, when you're doing creative work, it's not only for you. You're putting something out, and it's for the audience. It might be for a client, it might be for an audience, it might be for fans. Whoever it's for, the spotlight is not actually on you. Thinking that you're going to create a masterpiece or the most amazing thing is not really your decision, it's the audience's decision. So creative work comes with no guarantee. You can only make it and just hope and pray that it's something that's just gonna stick. The one thing you can control is practicing your creative work, doing as much creative work as you can until something does stick. And that one thing that sticks is just going to make a whole lot of difference for you. At the end of the day, reminding ourselves who we're doing this creative work for is what's going to keep us accountable and what's going to make us keep creating. Sometimes you just need to remind yourself that you're doing this for someone else, and that's going to get you out of bed. That's going to get you to grab your pen or your keyboard or anything that you need, and that's going to get you to start practicing and keep practicing your craft. Seth Godin likes to say that when you're creative, you're doing generous work. You're doing work with zero guarantee of the results, zero guarantee that people are going to like it. So tell yourself that you are serving and you're creating generous work that's going to make a difference, hopefully, in someone's life. Be prepared to describe the change you seek to make, at least to yourself. Care enough to commit to making that change. Ship work that resonates with the people it's for. Once you know whom it's for and what it's for, watch and learn to determine whether your interventions succeeded. Repeat. I guess the book The Practice just really served as a reality check for me, and I hope it's going to serve as a reality check for you too. Trying to find ways to be more creative, to be more active, to be more amazing at your craft is not always the solution. Sometimes it's as simple as getting out of bed and just keep doing what you're doing. Discipline and consistency, those are more important than coming up with your most authentic work. So instead of finding a million ways to get more creative or find that muse that we've been talking about, remind yourself who you're doing the work for, do the work, see if they like it, and simply repeat. Learn to enjoy the process of creating and let the goal take care of itself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you did. And if you're looking for more tips about entrepreneurship, marketing, or personal development, make sure to look at all of my past videos and stick around for more. See you next time. Bye.